This is the Scott Mills Breakfast Show. I really hope you enjoy it.
BBC have fired Scott Mills. Well, at least we know it's nothing to do with kiddie fiddling or noncing around because the BBC aren't standing behind him. Because the BBC, they never go a history of standing behind their pedos.
Yeah, they do.
I'm feared in every girls' school in this country.
I don't know if you're aware of that.
They do that quite a lot.
You know that song, Stand By Your Man?
Yeah, the BBC got the wrong message.
They got very confused.
Yeah.
They say Elijah's swishy, but we're making noise.
But for example, you know, you could be thinking, oh, maybe drugs did this and drugs are the only bad thing in the world. And then you learn about Scott Mills.
Yeah.
And I don't even mean the recent stuff, I just mean you look at his face and you're like, oh, I just don't like him.
I've never liked Scott Mills.
I mean, you look at him, first of all. I mean, look, you had that picture for the thumbnail, actually.
Yeah, I did, yeah.
He doesn't look that old.
Mm.
He's old, apparently.
He's probably older than that photo. That's probably a fairly old photo.
Yeah. I mean, actually, I don't actually know how old he is at all, actually. Let me have a look at that.
How old is Scott Mills?
Because that does make a difference.
53.
53, yeah, he doesn't look 53. Although he looks like he's on something there, to be honest.
Yeah.
I don't know the full story, to be fair. I haven't looked into the full story. But I know the headline. I mean, the headline is that he, well, when I first saw it, I was like, oh, okay, BBC have got rid of Scott Mills. I was like, well, I even read it down in my notes in my phone book, in my phone. I was like, oh, BBC have fired Scott Mills. Well, at least we know it's nothing to do with kiddie fiddling or noncing around because the BBC aren't standing behind him. Because the BBC, they never go a history of standing behind their pedos.
Yeah, they do.
I don't know if you're aware of that.
They do that quite a lot.
You know that song, Stand By Your Man?
Yeah, the BBC got the wrong message.
They got very confused
Yeah.
about what men are supposed to stand with who and do what.
Stand by your man, especially when he does things he shouldn't. To people he shouldn't.
I don't even know exactly what it is. I just know that it's some kind of historical case of him noncing with a teenage kid, basically.
Fuck me.
But it seemed like, from what I worked out, I think I have it in my head now that I did look at the ages, and I've got 23 in my head,
Right.
and I'm sure it was around the time he would have been 23, because it was like 2000, something like that.
Right, so it was okay. Assume he's 23.
Well, I mean, he's 53 now, so if it was
That'd be
2000,
30 years ago, so it would be like 1995 or 6.
no, I'm saying, what age would he have been then? Like, if it was early 2000s,
If it was early 2000s, he would have been like 30.
it could have been that. Oh, well, we should have a look. What exactly has Scott Mills been accused of recently? For anyone who doesn't know, he's a more Radio 1 or Radio something, and he's a radio guy, isn't he, more than anything?
Presenter, yeah.
But I've seen him do a bunch of things.
Yeah.
Okay. Historical sexual offence allegation.
A boy under 16.
Oh, yeah, I meant to say it was a boy. I mean, that doesn't really change it. That it's a boy.
No, but under 16.
Yeah, that's the thing. He was investigated by police over allegations of serious sexual offences involving a boy under 16.
How under 16?
The alleged The alleged incidents were said to have taken place between 97 and 2000. Okay, so he's 53, so that would have been 26 to 29 years ago.
Yeah.
So early 30s,
30s to
late 20s.
late 20s,
Yeah, okay.
Not acceptable.
No. He was questioned under caution in 2018 as part of the investigation, and the case was closed in 2019 with no charges due to insufficient evidence. And there were only allegations, and he's not been charged or convicted of an offence. So, inappropriate communication concerns. I was going to say, because that doesn't sound like, if that's the case, 2019, what's going on? Something else must have happened then. Because whether or not we want to, we don't know this. It's hard to say exactly what happened there.
Yeah.
Because having a boy around that age, I have learned recently, they can lie about. They just don't understand sometimes the stuff that they're saying, kids.
Yeah.
So once again, depends how far under 16. Kids don't always understand, like, if they just want certain things, and they're going to say, like, oh, this person hits me, and they'll use that,
But
kids
what about these inappropriate
Yeah, I was going to say, let's go on. The inappropriate communication concerns. In 2025, a journalist contacted the BBC raising separate concerns about alleged inappropriate communication involving Mills. The BBC later admitted that it failed to properly investigate the claims at the time. That's 2025. why it blew up recently. New or re-emerging information led to renewed scrutiny of the old police investigation. It also emerged that BBC had known about the investigation, but hadn't acted. Well, that the BBC then sacked him in March, citing concerns about his personal conduct. He has acknowledged the police investigation and said he cooperated fully, and he's also criticised the rumour and speculation around the case. Bottom line is the main accusation is historic alleged sexual offences involving a minor, but with no charges brought. Additional concerns, alleged inappropriate communications raised later, so that could be a different person, the same person.
This feels like it's one of those ones that slowly unravels. Over time.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Yeah. I reckon the BBC know more though, and they're getting ahead of it. It kind of sounds like that. It's rare that the BBC won't stand behind people.
Times now with the whole Jimmy Savile thing, and then recently they had that news.
Hugh Edwards.
Yeah, Hugh Edwards.
There's even little ones in between that too as well. Yeah.
I personally do not like nonce behaviour, and I think it should be very much frowned upon. I just want that.
Really? Oh, that's a bit of a wild take there. You sure you don't want to think about that?
No.
Pedos are bad.
I'm putting my fucking foot down.
Nonsense are bad. You want to get some blowback from that?
Well, I'll take it.
What we know existed then from the original investigation. Police said there were allegations of serious sexual offences involving a teenage boy under 16. Started in 2016. This case did.
Related to alleged events for him.
They compiled evidence